If two former Apple executives spent years developing an AI device, raise hundreds of millions of dollars in venture capital funding, and promise to replace the smartphone, you would expect it to work. Surprisingly, it wasn't even close. But the real question isn't why it failed. It's why anyone believed it would succeed in the first place. This is the story of a product that solved a problem nobody actually had. In April 2024, a small wearable device promised to replace your smartphone. No screen, no apps, no constant notifications. Instead, you would talk to it, and it would talk back. Humane called it the AI Pin. The company described it not as a gadget, but as a shift, a new way of interacting with technology that removed screens entirely. The pitch was simple. Smartphones had become overwhelming, too addictive, too distracting. The AI Pin was designed to give people their attention back. But within a year, Humane would tell customers their devices were going to stop working, not because of a defect, not because of a safety issue, but because the company behind the product could no longer sustain it. Humane was founded by Imran Chowdhury and Bethany Bongiorno, both former Apple employees. Chowdhury spent over 2 decades at Apple and worked on interface and interaction design across multiple product generations. Bongiorno held engineering leadership roles, focusing on software systems and product execution. This was huge and, from the outside, very promising. Humane was not marketed as a scrappy startup experimenting from the margins. It was presented as a company built by insiders, people who had already helped define how billions of people interact with technology. From the beginning, Humane leaned heavily into this identity. This wasn't about disruption, it was about refinement, or at least, that was the idea. At the core of the AI Pin was a belief that screens were the problem. Not bad apps, not bad habits, screens themselves. Humane argued that constantly looking down at a phone pulled people out of real-world experiences. The AI Pin was meant to reverse that dynamic. No scrolling, no tapping, no visual overload, just voice, context, and minimal output. It was a clean philosophy, but philosophy alone does not guarantee usability. The Humane AI Pin launched at $699, later reduced to $499 with a mandatory $24 per month subscription. That subscription was not optional. Without it, the device could not function. The hardware itself had no traditional screen. Instead, it relied on voice commands, a small camera, and a laser projector that displayed information onto the user's hand. In theory, this seemed like the perfect idea. In practice, it added steps. Checking the weather required waiting. Responding to messages required verbal confirmation. What was meant to be easy actions took longer than simply pulling out a phone. The device worked, just not how it intended to. In controlled demonstrations, the AI Pin looked impressive. Short clips showed seamless translations, clean projections, and confident interactions. But demos do not show the full picture. Real life comes with background noise, intense sunlight, and unpredictable environments. Reviewers quickly noticed the difference. The projector struggled outdoors. Voice recognition failed in crowded spaces. Latency became unavoidable. What looked futuristic on stage felt fragile in practice. Early reviews were not kind. Reviewers acknowledged the ambition. They praised the idea, but they struggled to recommend the product. The most common criticism was not that the AI Pin was bad, but it was in fact unnecessary.
Incredibly poor proposition.
Do I recommend you get one right now? Definitely not.
It's so bad, in fact, that I think it's actually kind of distracting to understand what the point of the device is.
Smartphones were not perfect, but they were fast, reliable, predictable, and most importantly, already integrated into daily life. The AI Pin asked users to slow down, which most people didn't want. This was the core issue. The AI Pin did not fail on technology. It failed on behavior. Successful consumer products do not demand attention. They fade into daily routine. They reduce conflict instead of adding it. The AI Pin required users to trust a system that frequently hesitated. It asked people to adapt first, and that is where adoption stopped. Humane never officially released detailed sales numbers. Instead, the signs appeared quietly. Price cuts, limited availability, minimal restocking. The subscription model amplified the hesitation. This wasn't a one-time purchase, it was a commitment. And for a product that had not yet proven itself indispensable, that commitment felt risky. In February of 2025, Humane sent out an email to all customers. The message was clear and direct. The AI Pin would stop connecting to Humane servers at 12 p.m. PST on February 28th. After that moment, core features would no longer function. Not slowly, immediately. Around the same time, reports confirmed that HP would acquire Humane's assets for $116 million. HP was not buying the product, it was buying the team, the research, and the ideas. Humane confirmed the acquisition shortly after. The AI Pin was effectively over. Humane did not disappear, it transformed. Chaudhry and Bongiorno joined HP to help build future AI systems. The vision lived on, but the hardware did not. This discrepancy matters because it shows that the idea was not worthless, only that the execution was premature. All in all, the Humane AI Pin did not struggle because it lacked innovation. By most reviews, it demonstrated real technical capability. What it revealed instead was a familiar truth in consumer technology. Adoption depends less on what a product can do and more on how naturally it fits into existing behavior. The most successful tools do not demand attention. They disappear into one's daily routine. The problem was not that the AI Pin existed. The problem was that it asked users to change first, and for most people, that adjustment required more effort than the benefits justified.